Your true nature is closer than the you that you think you are. Awakening is the answer to all of the world's problems on every level. All of the world's problems stem from a delusion, the fundamental delusion of the mind. And that delusion is that I am this limited character. This limited character has a tendency to grasp for what it wants. It's just a collection of conditioned patterns of craving what it wants or trying to push away what it doesn't want. It's this endless process of, you could say, a pleasure principle, going after pleasure, avoiding pain. And if we believe we are this character, this conditioned pattern, then we suffer and we create suffering in the world. The world becomes a reflection of that egoic consciousness. The benefit of awakening is that you suffer less and the people around you suffer less. If we are awake, we realize that there's one awareness that is disguised as all of these different beings on the planet. One awareness shining through everyone's eyes. Then we literally see ourselves in others. And that tendency to operate as an ego, the tendency to take for oneself, falls away because we directly realize the truth. The truth is that we're all one consciousness. There's no person that awakens. So the I that awakened, I awakened from this Dan structure at a meditation center. It was a Zen center. We were doing a Zen session, which is a long period of intensive practice. So Zen is amazing for creating this container where there are these conditions of no escape. So the Dan character that had learned meditation, the Dan character had been doing all this meditation, this doer of meditation realized that it couldn't awaken. It's like all the meditation tricks, all the practices that had been learned were of no use. It got to the point where that character who was trying to awaken failed to awaken and had to fail. The character that I'd been living, the character that I'd been playing all my life, had to let go or die. And what was left when that character, when there was no doer, when there was no meditator meditating or doing something called meditation, what was left was my true nature, or me, just me. Sometimes people can awaken just in day-to-day life. They don't necessarily need practice. So sometimes things will happen in life where there's an interrupt in the pattern of you, and there can be a spontaneous awakening. But if someone's life is just going on in a kind of robotic pattern or repetitive pattern, then some sort of intervention is necessary if one is called to awakening. And that interrupt in the pattern of you is sometimes called sadhana or spiritual practice. And these practices are always conditioned. There's something that we learn with the conditioned mind, so they can make it more likely for awakening to happen, sort of by loosening the bonds within the self-structure. Sometimes they say that awakening happens by accident, but the practice makes you more accident-prone. The techniques, the practices can be very useful to make you more accident-prone, but they, at a certain point, have to be let go. Because if the mind is continuously doing some practice or something, then the mind has the reins. The mind is in the driver's seat. So the practices are useful, very useful as stepping stones for making the self-structure, you could say, less dense, or lightening up the self-structure so that it becomes more permeable to our true nature. The paradox with practice is that when you finally awaken, you realize that all of the practices were being done by the false self, the character in the VR game, and that you, the true self, was never bound. All you have to do is give up the preferences of the ego, to give up the fixation on things. Anything within the field of changing phenomena is not the true self. The you that you think you are, the you that you've always been identified with, will never awaken. You awaken from that character. You awaken from the delusion that you are this conditioned character. So when people come to these retreats, they think, you know, this I, this little me is going to awaken, some great thing is going to happen. But at a certain point, that little me will never do it. It has to give up, it has to fail. And it's only in that failure we realize who we are, that we've always been aware, we've always been present. We just got hooked into this character and we believed we were that. The mind that changes states through the human experience, but there's something, that which you are, that remains, something that is ever present, that is aware of those changing states, and that is consciousness, or our true nature. As long as there is attachment to a character on the screen, a sense that I am that character, then there will be suffering, Maya, the illusion of the self. Nothing you can do as the dream character will help to free you. Whether you follow the script in the drama of your life or rebel against the script, if you act from the point of view of the character, then you're caught in the illusion. To awaken, stop identifying with what appears on the screen. Recognize that it is all impermanent. Stop reacting to thoughts and treating the program as real. If I withdraw attention from the screen, turning awareness towards itself, an unfathomable thing happens. Awareness itself wakes up. This is not a happening. Happening is what happens on the screen. Awakening is just recognizing the screen that was always already there. Do not believe your next thought. Instead, turn awareness towards awareness itself. When each individual disidentifies from their conditioned character, then they're no longer acting as an egoic entity. And that brings about a transformation on the planet. This brings a new earth.